What's up guys, NGS here, and it's time for another video. This is a video on Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. This is I think my third video on the topic. This one is going to be what I want, the top 10 things they should improve in Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 over the first one, Ultimate Ninja Storm 1. So let's get started. Now before we go on, the first major thing which people are going to get annoyed at is that it's on the Xbox 360. Now this has more to do with the whole console exclusive thing than it does about the actual game, because people are saying, oh no, this isn't a PS3 exclusive, it should be a PS3 exclusive. It has more to do with the fanboys than it does the actual game, which I actually find hysterical. Now at first I was pretty annoyed it was going to be on the 360 because they couldn't realize the full potentials on the PS3. Now everyone's saying that Ultimate Ninja Storm didn't realize the full potential on the PS3, such as a game like, I don't know, Metal Gear Solid 4 or Uncharted 2 did. But it didn't do that, but it still went over the 8GB limit of a normal game would on the 360, so it was still considered better quality than a 360 game when it came to, like, you know, graphics and not content, obviously. So let's start off with number 10, the graphics. Now people are saying since it's coming to the 360, the game's gonna be shit, the graphics are gonna be terrible. Well you guys, 360 can pull off some pretty beautiful graphics. I mean, look at Gears of War 2, that is one of the best graphics I've ever seen. And people are saying that, well, Gears of War 2 is a shooting game and a story game. Naruto really isn't made by a big company like that, so it's not gonna be of that great quality. Okay, well if it's not going to be of that great quality, let's take another game that was released on the 360 and on the PS3, Dragon Ball Raging Blast. If any of you guys know, that game has the best quality of any multi-plat anime game that there is. I mean, look at it, it looks just like the anime come alive. So if they could pull that type of graphics off with Naruto, I would have no problems if the graphics were like that. So that was number 10. Let's move on to number 9. Story mode. With this game coming out in fall 2010, they have many great opportunities of what they could do with the story. People are saying since this is going to be a high-end game, it should only feature the Sasuke versus Itachi arc, which we just got done finishing. But keep in mind, you guys, this is in fall 2010, so we don't know how far the Shippuden anime might get to. They might finish the entire Pain arc by that time, so we could very well see an entire Pain game by the end of fall 2010. If they aren't going to go that far, my thoughts are it's just going to be the Sasuke versus Itachi arc, but they're going to make it worthwhile. Number 8. Story mode elements. Now we all know when it comes to Naruto games on 360 and PS3, the 360 wins when it comes to story, the PS3 wins when it comes to fighting. So wouldn't there naturally be, since this game is going to be a multiplat, something together that could bind them together? What is the best part about the Bond series, the RPG? What is the best part about Storm, the fighting style? So what I'm thinking is the story mode should be a full RPG such as the Bond series. Picture it right now. Running all the way to the Sand Village in the RPG element, you know, meeting up with Deidara, running to Orochimaru's hideout, you know, stuff like that. Wouldn't that be an awesome feature for a Naruto game if they actually replicated the entire Naruto storyline in an RPG? Storm tried to do that, but they didn't even care about it. They made a great hub for Konoha, but that's just it. And there wasn't even much life going on in Konoha. It's just, oh, a few people here, and what else are you doing? Collecting scrolls. So it really wasn't that interesting. Let's move on to number 7, character roster. Now why would anyone have a big deal about character roster? I mean, it's Shippuden characters, that should suffice enough. Well, the thing is, even if it's Shippuden, it still doesn't matter, you guys. Ultimate Ninja Storm 1 had a pretty terrible character roster of only 25 people, and they skipped major important battles in the story, and they didn't even add characters from the story in the game, such as the Sound 5. So what I'm thinking they should do is adapt the entire Axel 3 character roster into Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, and I don't care if they don't put pre-time skip characters. I don't get what the deal is with people going crazy over pre-time skip characters. It doesn't matter that you can play as young Naruto. If you want to play as young Naruto, go play Ultimate Ninja 4 or Ultimate Ninja 5 or Ultimate Ninja 3 for that matter. This is Shippuden, people. Number 6. No downloadable content. You guys are probably asking yourselves, wait, why wouldn't you want downloadable content in a Naruto game? They could give us great stuff like characters, stages, Japanese voices if they don't have it in the actual game. Well, here's the problem with downloadable content, you guys. DLC is meant for people who have an internet connection. People who don't have an internet connection, especially in a fighting game, they're gonna be out of luck because you get to download all these great characters. And what about the people who don't have an internet connection? Now I know the majority of people have it, but you gotta think about the people who don't have it. That's why they come out with Game of the Year editions like Gears of War 2 and Fallout 3. But for a Naruto game, I wouldn't think so, because the game has to sell a lot of copies. It has to be up there with the other top games, and Naruto just doesn't cut it. And also, think about what type of downloadable content they have given us so far. Storm 1, support characters, Broken Bond, a character just in a different costume. Those DLCs wouldn't make me go out and buy a wireless router or something. They have to make it worthwhile, such as adding additional stages, maybe adding more music tracks to the game, maybe adding sometimes new variations of characters, like you can download I don't know, maybe alternate costumes for characters, like, you know, free alternate costumes, which would be pretty cool. Like, you can play as Naruto, but he'll be in his older outfit, but it'll be like, you know, decked out so he's, you know, it'll fit his height basically, you know, like stuff like that. That'd be, I think, a pretty cool idea. Number 5, Destructible arenas. Now, we all know Naruto cannot pull off the godlike powers of the DBZ characters, but there are still some pretty destructible moves, such as Naruto doing his Rasen Shuriken. Here's a great example of it. Naruto, he jumps up in the air, he has Odama Rasengan or Rasen Shuriken, whatever you prefer, and he slams onto a person on the ground. Wouldn't that make a giant crater or something? Make the arenas more destructible so we actually feel like we're doing this amazing powers, you know? Don't make it like, oh, I tsunade punch this person, he hits a rock and it doesn't break. Make it believable at least. If I get punched against the wall, it'll crack. If I get slammed onto the ground, maybe like a crater will form. Something like that would really bring the game alive. Number 4, 4-player co-op. Now this applies to 2 things. I'm talking about the story mode and the actual fighting mode. Let's start off with the fighting mode. What I mean in the fighting mode is we all see how Axel 3 played with 4-player and how much of a blast that is if you have 4 friends playing Axel 3 at the same time. It's a great experience, you guys. It is a really fun thing. But if you haven't experienced that, wait till Ultimate Ninja Heroes 3 comes out and then you'll see how much fun it is. Some people say it's not fun, but for me it was pretty fun. How can they adapt that into Storm? Now I think that's what everyone's question is, since Storm has an over the shoulder cam. Well, you never know what type of feature they might add into it, you guys. You know, you could have 2 people going at it like on the same team and Naruto at the other team, you know, beating it up. You never know what type of element they might add to make it work for Storm. The next part to that is the story mode. Wouldn't it be fun if you and 3 other people got together in a squad and went to the Sand Village, like you were Kakashi, I was Naruto, one of us was Sakura, another one was Chio, and we all went to the Sand Village? Wouldn't that be fun? Like, you know, we have our PS3 Bluetooth headsets or our Xbox 360 headsets and we're talking along the way. We're saying, oh no, go this way, jump from tree to tree, stuff like that. I think it would be a great experience, but I think the problem with that is that would be like way too epic for just a game that's gonna be a multiplayer. If it was on a PS3, they could have adapted it, but we don't know what they actually would do for this game. Number 3, additional jutsus and combos. From Storm 1, we all saw how everyone had just one special attack, which was really boring because that's it. The Ultimate Ninja series was known for having like 4 to 5 jutsus per character, and Storm just gave you 1. Interesting. And the combos made the game an extreme button masher. All you gotta do is spam the O button 50 times over and you could win a match. There wasn't really that much depth into the gameplay. So what if I'm thinking is, if they add an additional button or something like that, like, I don't know what type of button they would do. I don't even know how they would work this, since this is established as the Ultimate Ninja fighting style. But it was very button mashy, and add more combos with the directional pad to make it more fun. Like, oh, because Ultimate Ninja Storm, you're pressing all this stuff, you're going crazy, you're flinging the directional pad, you're going crazy! I'm sorry for that outburst. It was kind of funny. So add more combos and jutsus to make it worthwhile. Number 2, improving the loading times. Now, I don't know if this is an actual problem with Storm or if it's just the PS3 has long loading times, but Storm has an extremely long loading time from starting the game in the story mode, stuff like that. So that really got annoying. And if they improve that feature in Storm 2, I would have no problem. It's probably just because it was on the PS3, but you never know what the problems are nowadays. And now we're at number 1. The top feature that I believe they should add in Storm 2 is obviously an online fighting mode. This is 2009 going on 2010. 90% of games have an online multiplayer or fighting mode. Street Fighter 4, Call of Duty, World at War, stuff like that. So if a game like Naruto, which is hailed for its anime, one of the best anime fighters, doesn't have an online fighting mode, the game just becomes a total failure because there isn't that much to do after you beat the story. It's exactly what they call it, a Naruto game where you can play once, don't want to go back to playing it again. But if you add an online gameplay, such as Revolution 3 did, then it'll increase the replay value. So I think that's a great idea that they should add in Storm 2, so actually people will say, hey, I want to play Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, instead of saying, oh yeah, I beat Storm 2 in 2 days and then I sold to the GameStop, got my money back. Nobody wants a game like that. So those are the top 10 things I think they should improve in Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, you guys. Post your comments and your video responses on what you guys think they should add. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.